All right, welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. Anyway, so I got the New York Product Department, driving up there, 2 blocks away. Is it 3 blocks away, 3 short blocks, or 2.5, I should say, and flashing their blue lights. So I forgot to finish up the story about Pam have Ethan targeting me, and again, you know, she has been going with him to therapy on a Monday. Right? You know, and I keep saying to myself, I keep telling myself, you know, you need therapy. I've been telling this for years. You need therapy, not just regular therapy. You need psychotherapy. You need some serious therapy session. Okay? And that therapist needs to give you things to do and to see if you do it, see if you accomplish it. Because, you know, the way how her mind works is set it and forget it. So anyway, as I was getting ready to leave, I told Ethan to come along. Actually, I was updating Alyssa's computer. And as soon as I got up, I noticed that he gets up too, and he starts pressing his thumb as he gets up on the couch, right? So the couch, the color of the couch is black. Again, trying to, you know, associate certain things. And I talked about this, how when I was, what happened between my eldest son and his mother, and how they tried to set me up. Not they tried to, they did, in order for me to drop the custody case against her. Planned it all, okay? Using, you know, covert drugging, psychological manipulation, cognitive warfare, and I had no clue, right? And I know for a fact that Pam has got in contact with her because that's who she is. That is who, particularly, you know, I'm talking about my eldest, his mother. That woman, she is narcissistic like hell, okay? She is a narcissistic woman. And so, of course, she's going to get in, you know, and then after, like I said, my son Bryce, my oldest, he started like distancing himself from me, right? And you know, this was about when he was like about when he graduated high school, right? And you know, he used to call me all the time, you know, complaining about his mother, how she curses at him, and you know, saying to him that that they're roommates, you know. And I had to call her and said to her, hey, don't you do that to him? Don't you say that to him? You're his mother. You're not his roommate. Okay? Well, because he don't want to do it. That's how you raise him. That is how you raise him. Again, whenever I try to instill discipline, you know, it's, well, he's grown and he's, you know, I'm like, no, he's not grown. He's a teenager. But yet, when he's disrespectful to her, and I listen, she's calling me, hey, can you speak to Bryce and such and such? And I'm like, fine, no problem. Right? Well, every time I try to discipline him, instill some structure. What's up, King? Right? They, you know, she's like, oh, he's grown and this and that. And this is how these women are. Pam is the same way too. She's the same way too. I tell Ethan when he comes out from school to text me or her to let us know that he's on his way home or he's hanging out with his friends to let us know. And when you don't do it, and I speak to him about it, she's like, well, you know, Ethan is a teenager now, you know. But like I said, so they gotta have the perps out here, man. It's what they do. They're radicalized, fanatical minds. Dumbass people. That's what they are. Dumbass people. Right? They are radicalized to a point where they try to do, like, get in the car. Of course, if you're waiting for a cab, but you stand up here, wait for me, right, or whoever. But that's what they do. They try to make things look as natural as possible. I know, because I know how they move. Remember, this is all based on manipulation in very subtle ways that will bypass your consciousness and embed itself in your subconscious. But you see, I can see their programming. Like I said, studying it. Studying everything that they do, what they say. And I was going to also mention about, you know, there was a news report I was looking at of a man who stabbed a 14-year-old child in the chest, right? And apparently he stabbed other people before, right? And I'm saying to myself, okay, is he being targeted? Look, I understand some people have mental illness, and some people have mental illness because of the actions of other people, right? So to stab this child in the chest is crazy. But some of these kids, some of these children, they are radicalized also. And I tell my son all the time, I say, listen, you need to be careful what it is that you're doing, particularly when you're with your friends. If your friends are bullying other kids, you don't need to be part of that group. You need to go and help and defend the child that they're targeting, or the teenager that they're targeting. Okay, I raised you that way. I didn't raise you to bully other kids. Okay, he knows I'm serious about that. I've never bullied anybody in my life. All right, that's the one thing I don't do. I don't gang up on people. I mean, as a teenager, we had our little differences between, but that's teenage things. But in terms of me ganging up on somebody because they may not wear a certain type of thing, or no, never. Right? So I don't raise my kids like that. I raise them to defend the kids who are being bullied. Okay? But you will find in this society, particularly in the so-called Christian society that they like to call it, you will find that most Christians, they allow their kids to bully other kids, particularly if they're not Christian, particularly of another religion. That's why it kills me when I see Muslim brothers and sisters engaging in targeting. Right? Because the Muslim teachers, the Muslim principals, they're trying to get rid of y'all asses. Okay? That's the Christians. The Negropean Christians will team up with the white supremacists to get rid of y'all in the school system. But y'all want to participate in targeting, like y'all are one. Or all of a sudden now we all worship the same God. No, y'all don't. Y'all don't worship the same God. Okay? So like I said, I'm constantly having to speak on these things because, again, right, is to always keep things in a realistic point of view and to look at things realistically. Not because they want me to believe this or believe that. Like the conflict they're causing between me and Pam. I just work through it. I work through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still there for my kids. I'm there for her too. Like, the other day, like I said, she comes in and she's like, like I said, my daughter threw up on the rug. And she didn't even clean it up. And then when I said to her something about it, I said, why did you clean up? Oh, I didn't have no time. I got to go, whatever. Why couldn't you clean up? You was here. First of all, I'm not doing that. The fact that you're here, she threw up on the rug, and you're here and you refuse to clean up, I'm not cleaning up. Particularly after I took my damn time for an entire week cleaning up the living room and the foyer. And then you come back and have clothes all over the place again. You have suitcase still in the damn living room 2 weeks after you come back from vacation. You have not even emptied all of it out, must just bring it in the basement. And then she'll do these little tests that, I'll walk by and she's like, oh, I got to take these boxes downstairs. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm not bringing it downstairs. You're home the entire week. The weekend, you can bring that shit downstairs. Now, I bring down the other garbage, the recyclables, because she let that shit pile up. I bring that down. But when I see you trying to engage in a direct way of trying to manipulate me, to try to see, if they've turned my feelings off from you, because ultimately that's what they want. This, again, you look at the behavior of these women and how they treat their children's father. They are being psychologically manipulated. And you know why? And you know what? What they get out of it? Honey traps. A good time every now and then while their children are suffering in school. Right? So today she calls me and she was like, oh yeah, Ethan got a 100 on his test. And then she got in the house and she's like, oh yeah, Ethan had a good week. I said, why? Because he got 100 on his test? She's like, yeah. I said, really? I said, well, let me ask you something. How many days that he missed his first period class, right? How many days was he late for school? I said, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that's not a good week. I'm very proud of him for getting 100 on his math exam. I'm very proud of him. I let him know that. I tell him that. Right? I did a little dance for him too, a little celebration dance. But that's not that. But the fact is that he's missed his first period class 4 days or 3 days out of the week. So how was that a good week? But you see, that's how her mindset is. That is how she thinks. She will hop on one thing and forget everything else. You know, I mean, I just look at her like, I just shake my head. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, what? Now you go tell your friends, oh, you got 100 on this test, or you're just a great mom and you this and that. No, he's still failing. He's still failing. Right? So you get 100 on the math test. But if he's failing on his other subject, then what? You know what I'm saying? So again, it's the mindset. But this is what they do. This is how they've been conditioned to think, to behave, to believe. Right? And then attack you as a black man for speaking the truth. Right? Because the white supremacists and the Sambos and Sambinas on the police department, because they go to the church and whatever, right? The church is responsible for some of this stuff too, because the very people that are in law enforcement are part of these churches. Some of them are even running some of these churches. And they're using their authority and their religious delusion to engage in criminal activity. Talking about they're doing God's work. You're not doing God's work. You're a dark triad. You're a narcissist. And you find joy in damaging people, manipulating people. That's what you do. Okay, when I talk about wickedness and evil, your very own Bible tells there's wickedness in high places. But y'all motherfuckers continue to vote for these wicked people. Right? And then talk about Christians, and then on church talk about this wickedness in high places. Right? Your damn very pastor, one of the most wickedest people on the damn face of the earth. Right? He's living in mansions. Him and his wife living in mansions, sleeping with the congregation. Shit is ridiculous. So, you know, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. You guys go look at my videos, and you know, you can't make a comment on them because I turned that shit off. But I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Like I talk about, you know, you look at the police department, right? There was a cop who recently, I posted it on Facebook, right? This guy was a police officer for over 30 years, right? Just got sentenced. This guy had over 200 images of child pornography on his computer, and he was a member of the special victim units, right? It happens here in New York too, where you have women who have been sexually assaulted, and these cops end up sexually assaulting them again, because this is who these people are. They're in positions of power. They abuse their power, right? So like I said, you know, you want to attack me for speaking the truth? Attack me for speaking the truth. That's not going to stop me from speaking the truth. Like I said, you want to put me in jail? Put me in jail. That's not going to stop me from speaking the truth. You want to assassinate me? Assassinate me. But that's still not going to stop me from speaking the truth. Because guess what? I'm going to make sure my videos are up so other people can see. Okay? I gave my account information to other family members so that they can keep my account going. That's right. You're the New York Credit Department. So you ain't going to shut me up. Okay? Here you go. And like I said, I want to be there when I see y'all motherfuckers doing the perp walk. All right? Because I'm going to expose everything that y'all do. Everything. All right? Y'all can use women to lie. Y'all can engage in y'all covert warfare. You know, y'all so-called covert investigation, which is all bullshit. All right? Why don't you tell them how you send this dude in my most vulnerable moment when you're targeting me while I was working out, right? To tell me the wrong things and then end up damaging my knee. So you can say, well, you didn't have to listen, right? Y'all motherfuckers know what y'all do. Y'all weaken a person's mind, and then y'all manipulate that person in their weakness. So no, like I said, I'm not going to let y'all railroad me. Fuck y'all. Anyhow, talk to you guys in the next video.